Welcome to Tackle Talk Live, dedicated to making you a better fisherman. Proudly brought to you by our sponsors: The Boat Shop, 3J's Fourway, Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, The Lakes Insurance Agency, Lone Star Bass Trail, V&M Baits. Now on to your hosts, Ranger Daiwa Pro Staff Steve Graff and V&M Baits President Kevin Jean.
Welcome to another edition of Tackle Talk Live. I'm Ranger Daiwa Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with V&M President Kevin Jean. And today we got another great show lined up for you. And we're sorry about the delay. Had a major storm come through here, and there were some time issues as well. But anyway, we are here and we are on there, and we're here to give you a great show today. So,
Steve, I'm glad you're back.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're back. I can say.
I'm glad you're back too. So,
oh man,
your cap wasn't doing much talking a couple of weeks ago. It was just sitting there. It wouldn't say nothing.
And I do not like doing a show by myself. I can tell you that. So I'm glad you're back and kind of get Tackle Talk going here a couple more weeks before we take a break for August.
Yeah.
So just kind of recap if you didn't hear from the show last week. We're going to finish July up. And Tackle Talk Live will take a break in August. We got some things we're working on behind the scenes, updating a lot of things for you guys, updating a lot of sponsors, come back bigger and better than ever starting the first week in September. And will be a huge month for us in September with all the big tournaments coming up on Sam Rayburn.
And there's a couple of tournaments at the end of August that we'll wrap up for you when we come back September as well. And one of them's, I think, on Rayburn. It's an ABA, I know, tournament going on there. But like Kevin said, we'll kick it off back again in September, which, going into the fall, there's a lot of stuff going on in the fall. Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend both have a lot of things going on, and we'll keep you up to date as to what's going on, as well as to get that new Lone Star Trail that'll be kicking off in, let's see here.
It kicks off August.
August on Toledo Bend.
But September, you've got the BFL 2-day regional. You've got the Texas Shootout.
Yep.
The 25th, you have the V&M tournament going on over there on the 25th. So huge September going on Sam Rayburn. So it's going to be a busy fall this year, which I think it was going to be a really good fall as well.
Yes, exactly. And we got a really good tournament in early September, which we're going to get to here in just a minute, a little promotion on that with Ironman. That's going to be a really cool event.
August 7th, that's coming up.
Yeah, if you're looking for something to fish, I'm telling you, this would be a cool deal to fish right here. So, but we'll give you a little more detail about that here in just a minute. But again, today's guests, we've got Scott Eastman and Cliff Moncrief. They had a good weekend at Sam Rayburn, had a 3-fish limit of over 20 pounds. We're going to get with them today. Yes, they did have a big kicker. We'll talk about that as well. And but we got that. We got basically interviews 2 in 1 with that today. And then we'll kind of tell you what's coming up. Some local tournaments in our area, in our region, that'll be coming up.
The big thing being talked about right now is the Brandon Belt tournament, fishing tournament coming up in February over on Sam Rayburn. $100,000 first place team event. $800 entry fee. It's going on, I believe, February 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's a 400 team maximum, a 400 boat maximum. So I believe registration will be October 1st. We will have Brandon and a few of the guys from the Ross Motorsports who's putting it on the show next week to really dive into this tournament. We'll dive into it a little bit later on as well. We'll kind of talk about it, but man, that's a first, Steve. That'll be the biggest team tournament in the world.
And there will be a limit on it, on how many will be able to
boats,
enter. 400 boats. But we're going to get to that and so much more today. But real quick, we got some great sponsors. Kevin's going to tell us about Toledo Health real quick.
Toledo Health, located on Highway 6 near Toledo Town, a full-service primary care and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's convenient to the area. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. They treat it all from fish hook removal to chronic conditions. Give them a call at 318-508-5323. Again, that's located at 11340 Texas Highway, just east of Toledo Town and Tackle.
And also coming up real soon, as a matter of fact, August the 7th, this is going to be put on by Lone Star Bass Trail. It's the Ironman tournament. It's a $300 entry fee. It's a one-day event. Once again, August 7th, going out of Castle Boykin Pavilion. It's it's 2 tournaments in one, basically. You're going to fish in the morning from 6 till 12. Come in. It's a 3-fish limit. You weigh your 3 fish in. Then from 4 to 9, you're going to go back out again and catch 3 more. And at the end of the day, you take the cumulative weight of your 6 fish that you weighed in after 9 o'clock that evening, and you'll have a winner. But in between tournaments, or in between those 2 times, they're going to have live music, food, just games for the family and prizes for the family and the kids. So many things going on. Great entertainment. So even if you're an angler, you want to take a break, maybe go get you a bite to eat, recoup, rehydrate, make sure you get plenty of fluids in your body. That's why it's called an Ironman tournament. This is an all-day deal. It's going to be, I think, a really great event. Music, like I said, live music will be from 12 to 4 that day. And there is off limits on this event. It's going to be Monday, August 2nd, from 6 a.m. till Friday, August the 6th all the way till Friday, August the 6th. So it's dead water that whole week. And then the tournament will start Saturday morning from 6 till 12, and you'll go back out and fish again from 4 till 9. So, again, total weight for both those segments will determine the winner. And this is just a really good event. Really commend Lone Star Bass Trail for putting on this event. First of its kind, very unique and different event. And now James is going to talk to you just a little bit about another one of our awesome sponsors, the Boat Shop.
Yes, the Boat Shop. Mr. Raymond Kidd and his staff take great pride in keeping your boat and motor performing at its best. A certified Yamaha dealer and home to the best motor on the market today, the Yamaha Show. Also a full support Garmin dealer offering the best in electronics and the new Garmin trolling motor. So stop by 2410 Sanford Avenue in Shreveport and let the Boat Shop take care of all your boating needs. Give them a call at 318-402-0399 or go to shreveportboatshop.com to learn more.
You know, we just realized, Kevin, James can read. He did a great job.
James will be helping us with reads from now on.
James can read.
If he knew anything about fishing, James would be asking questions or something else, but he's clueless on fishing.
If I didn't know better, he's a college man.
Yeah, yes.
Northwestern State University college man. There we go. But thank you, James. Appreciate you, buddy. And on the phone with us, we've got Scott Eastman and Cliff Moncrief. We've gone high tech, kid. We got a conference call here.
Scott, are you on with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Cliff, are you on as well?
I'm on.
Okay, good deal.
Man.
So first time ever, we've got both partners on the phone at the same time, Scott and Cliff. The Valero Reel 'em In tournament this past weekend. I think over 220 boats, Steve. Really good turnout for this time of year. It's a 3-fish tournament. So Scott and Cliff won the tournament with 3 fish with 20.88 pounds with a 12.7 pound big fish.
That goes a long
Steve,
way.
they would have won 9th place with 1 fish.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Still would have been top 10.
They would have been top 10 with 1 fish. But first place overall won $5,000. I think $6,000 total, including big bass. So, guys, congratulations on a great weekend.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Scott, let's kind of jump into it. And I know y'all, and Cliff told me before that he does a lot of work with Valero. Valero puts this tournament on, so y'all jumped in it. Scott, you were telling me really don't fish Sam Rayburn that much. Did you guys get a chance? Did you get a chance to go over and practice any?
Yes, we did. We went over Thursday afternoon and started about 3:30 and fished till about 7, and then we fished a little bit on Friday. So, we got a chance to pre-fish a little bit.
How did practice go? Did you catch any size? Did you kind of figure some things out?
Well, it's kind of funny, not really, because we started off flipping bushes, and probably the biggest fish we had was 3 to 3.5. We got on a little bank, and we caught quite a few, and we kind of thought, okay, that's one spot, and we wanted to have several, and it just really didn't work out. We went back on Friday and caught fewer fish than we did on Thursday, and so that's when Cliff and I talked and kind of decided, hey, I think we're going to go jump Main Lake points.
Now, Cliff, did when y'all got out there, and I'm just now looking at the Sam Rayburn lake level. It's 4.23 feet, I think, above, or 2.8 feet above pool right now. Have those fish migrated out to the edge of those trees and those bushes and that water? Because it's obviously still up 4 feet high.
Absolutely. I think that's what made our decision, because we really didn't catch a whole lot of size, like you said, up in the bushes, which is kind of not my forte anyway. But not that I have one. But Eastman is the one that we ought to be congratulating on that. He went out there with this Carolina rig and went to work.
Gotcha. So Scott, take us through the tournament. Day one starts off. I know you told me last night when we were talking that you had a 6-pounder as well, and you told me you caught that kind of first thing right off the bat this morning. So kind of take me through the day here up until the big fish.
Okay, so we started out on the main lake point, and we were both catching fish. We caught quite a few fish in that first spot, and just so happened I decided I was going to move over, 10, 15 yards. I moved over, made a cast, and I caught that 6+. And so we were there for probably 45 minutes to an hour, and we caught some other, 2 3/4 to 3 pounds, and we had our 3 fish.
Right.
And then that bite just completely died off. And so Cliff was like, hey, let's go make a run. We'll do some other stuff. Went to a couple other spots, didn't get a bite. Said, hey, let's go around the corner here and do this. And we got to this spot and had a little grass, and we were working through that. And I was like, I don't know about this Carolina rig and through this grass and all that. And so I kind of flipped around and threw out, deeper, and started working it back up, and that's when she hit it.
The 6-pounder.
No,
okay, the 12-pounder. So you caught the 6-pounder on a different spot and then moved and caught the 12-pounder on a Carolina rig?
Yes, sir. Both of them came off of Carolina.
And you said about 15 foot of water. So main lake point, 15 foot of water just off probably the edge, the grass line of the hydrilla?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Now, I just picked up on something there, Scott, and I'm going to ask you and Cliff the same question here. You said you were pulling it up. So were you closer to the bank and throwing out towards the point and dragging it back up the point, or were you off the point dragging it out?
No, I was dragging it back into the shallower water.
Okay.
So you were going down the grass line, basically, and then as you got out on the point, you're throwing out now.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
I got you. So now, Cliff, you take me through this fish catch. Being the net man, being the partner, I've been there. I've netted 4 of them in a tournament over 10 myself. Not that I've caught, that my partner caught. And so you give me your reaction. Did you see the fish? Did the fish jump? Did you know how big it was, Cliff?
Well, I had just reeled in a fish, and it was a smaller fish, and I was messing with that and getting my line ready to go back out, and he sets the hook and lets me know something was on it. And I didn't pay much attention at that point. I still had my head down trying to get my lure back in the water, and that fish jumped. And it
Come completely out of the water?
Yes, it did.
Oh,
well, I didn't see
wow.
it because I wasn't watching. I heard it. I heard it jump and splash, and Scott Eastman said, "Oh, something. You need to get the net." And I put everything I had down and got the net and went and got behind him. He got him in. At one point, he went under the boat and made me a little bit nervous, but he was able to get him back out off the boat and made a clean snatch. And after that, I think we were both shaking.
Well, and at that point, you've got to really feel like, okay,
you got a 12 and a 6.
This is pretty much over,
I said that exact words. This is over.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
Kevin.
Yeah.
He actually called a buddy of ours, and when the guy answered, he said, "Y'all go home." The guy was like, "What?" He said, "Y'all go home. It's over with."
Yeah. Thank you for your donation.
Yeah.
Now, Scott.
But they did end up getting a check, so that was really nice. We had a great weekend.
Now, Scott, this is your biggest fish to date, but barely, correct?
Right.
You caught an 11-pounder on Toledo Bend a couple years ago.
I caught a 1099 in a Bass Champs one year, and I got an 11-1, and I got an 11-48, and those three came off of Toledo.
Really?
When you
Yes.
saw this fish jump, did you know it was bigger than all your others?
Yeah, I had a good idea. I thought, I knew. I was like, this is big. This is huge. And Cliff said, I said, I said, oh my God.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, get the net. And when we finally got it in the net, Cliff made a comment. He said, that's the biggest damn fish I've ever seen in my life. And I said, it's got to be at least 12 because I've got an 11-48 and I know how big it is. And I said, it's got to be bigger than that.
And it's actually pushing 13. I mean, that's...
you almost have the lunker program right there.
I'm just like, now, Scott, I want to ask you this question. The guy's caught 4 fish, over 10 pounds. Is that your style? Is that something you're looking for? Are you trying to get, obviously we all want the big bite, but some people fish for that big bite, different than others. Are you one of those guys?
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm any kind of professional or anything. I really enjoy catching good fish. Now, during the spring, I don't have a problem with going up and catching 2 and 3 pounders. Like I told Cliff the other day when we were pre-fishing, that hand-to-hand combat when you're flipping bushes, I really enjoy that too.
Right.
But I fish a lot of plastics, the big worms, Carolina rigs. Me and my other partner, Gil Leger, he and I do a lot of that when we fish.
Well, and as a guy like myself, I love fishing bushes, but I also recognize the fact that very few 12-pounders are going to be in them bushes. It's just not something. And if you do get one in the bush, you probably ain't getting a 12-pounder out.
Exactly. Right. Yep.
So
I agree
we've,
with that.
We've talked about the structure and the depth. Now let's dive into the bait. So we're Carolina rig. What was you throwing on the Carolina rig?
Speed crawl.
Speed crawl on the Carolina rig. 15 foot of water.
Any certain color?
Right. Sir?
Any certain color?
That you wish to.
Watermelon red.
Okay.
Oh, he kept it simple.
Okay. So 15 foot main lake point just off the edge of the hydrilla, Carolina rig. Okay.
And that could be a lot of places on Sam Rayburn. Like we defined exactly where he was at. So that's a lot of places on Rayburn.
Absolutely. Did y'all catch any more fish in that area?
I think we caught a few small fish. I know Cliff caught a couple. He decided to go Texas rig and kind of stay in the grass. But after that, I don't know that he was real worried about fishing much more.
Yeah, it's over.
He actually, because I caught her just before 10, and he said, let's go, we're going to go weigh. And I said, well, I'd really like to cull that other fish because I knew they had a bunch of good sticks or a bunch of good fishermen in that tournament.
Yeah.
I think they said they had 261 boats. So I told Cliff, I said, look, I don't want those fish to die, either one of them either, but I said I'd really like to try to cull that other fish because you never know.
Right.
And so I said, what we'll do is we'll keep an eye on them. We even went over to Powell Park, bought a couple of bags of ice and put one bag in each live well. And, we had G-juice on them and everything. And they were in good shape when we got there. So I felt real good about it. So Cliff called the guy. He said you can weigh in at 11. And I think we fished to almost 1. And from 11 to 1, we didn't catch a fish. And so we were like, all right, let's go weigh. And so that's when, I guess we weighed in around 115 or so.
Cliff, if you were going back over there this week, is there a certain depth that you really need to focus on right now?
It's more focusing on the right partner.
No, that has the right GPS coordinates.
That's right.
Cliff, and I know as me and you were talking early this morning, you was telling me, who you work for, Valero as a customer or for y'all. Kind of talk to us a little bit about this tournament that Valero puts on that you guys won this past weekend.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool event, and I've been lucky enough and done some things, some with Scott, and I'll touch on that just to be real quick, but this is just a good one because it's United Way and Valero, and being an outdoorsman and like to do things like this and industrial sales, what I do with Renegade Industrial Supply and work with Valero, it's a perfect match. So we jumped in and got involved. We got people up there cooking. It's a really cool event. I would advise anybody out there listening to look it up. They try to do it in June because of the water level. They backed it up a little bit, but like I said, a very cool event. Valero raises a bunch of money, and we enjoy being part of that. So yeah, that's been. I mean, it's a special event. So, and like I said, Scott's done a lot of things as far as coaching, and he's administrator at schools and fundraising. So, like I said, anybody that can get involved in something like this, of course, it's fun to win, but it's also fun to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I was wondering because I didn't think this tournament was usually in July. I couldn't remember when it was, but you're right. It's usually in June.
That's right.
Well, guys, hey, man, great job. Congratulations. I mean, this is one of those tournaments you'll never forget for the rest of your life. You'll have something to tell your grandkids about. I mean, it's just a really cool deal, man.
It really is. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree totally. Like Cliff said, they cooked. I mean, they took care of us, man. It was really a neat deal. If we wouldn't have won a dime, I'd have still been. It'd have been a great weekend.
And let me ask you, how far down, if you know, how far down did they actually pay out?
They paid 9 places for every. What was it? Every 100.
I want to say they paid 30 places.
30 spots.
That's what they did. So that would have been 25, but I think they bumped it to 30
right.
and paid 30 places.
Ah, that's great. That's great.
Dustin Logan with Valero and Drake Thibodeau, they go out there and start on Thursday. They've got a I don't know what it is, 50-inch TV screen on the stage as people weigh in.
Yeah.
They had people all around watching the TV screen. You'll see people come in and you may move from 10 to 11 with somebody. It's just really cool event.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They do a great job.
Well, guys, we appreciate y'all coming on, kind of telling us your story, and hopefully we'll talk to you guys again in the future.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Cliff. All right, there you go. Scott Eastman, Cliff Moncrief, 2 guys that just come off a big win at Sam Rayburn with 20.88 and a 12.75 pound kicker.
Cliff, Steve, that is his 4th fish over 10.99.
Yeah,
at a 10.99, he's got 2 other 11s, and then that one. I mean, the guy can obviously catch them.
and you and I both know guys that they have a tendency to get that big bite in a tournament on tournament day.
Right.
And I think it has a lot to do with how they fish. That's why I asked him that question. Is there a style? Is he a jig guy?
No, there's a style to it.
Yeah.
There is.
And is he throwing big 8-inch lizards, dragging them? Is he throwing big baits? What's he doing?
Obviously not big baits. He was throwing a small
speed crawl.
Speed crawl on a Carolina rig.
Smaller than a speed crawl.
Which, you don't. But some guys just have that tendency to fish slow, no matter what, to fish slower, to make sure you're fishing through the right cover. They just got the big fish thing. It's in the knack and the way they fish. Okay. And I've always believed in that. I've had a lot of guys that, just once a year, they're going to catch a giant.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right.
So,
all right, before we get on to what's coming up over there at Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend, 3J's Fourway, Cypress and the Outdoors, a store within a store, and a great place for lunch. Got an awesome deli, best fried chicken you'll ever eat. 3J's Fourway, they offer gas, food, ice, but they also have Cypress and the Outdoors located inside the store. Great selection for hunting, fishing gear, products from Santone, Strike King, Spro, Gamakatsu, and of course the top soft plastic on planet Earth, V&M. And so they got that. They also got hunting supplies from Primo, guns from Winchester, Remington, Mossberg. I bought my last Winchester gun out there with John Abraham. Great 20 gauge, 12 gauge shotgun I bought. And so check it out. They got ammunition coming in pretty much, hopefully weekly now. I know ammunition's an issue with a lot of people. It's still going to be an issue, looks like, going into the 2021 hunting season. So when you find it, guys, you better stock up on it. And so stop by, say hello to John Abraham. Tell them you heard about it on Tackle Talk Live. And they got a great staff there at Cypress Knee Outdoors, located 1 mile east off I-49. Take exit 127 and go east. And or give them a call at 318-238-HUNT, H-U-N-T.
Pride Rods, custom rods built in Montgomery, Texas. The finest rods ever made by Mr. Billy Kistler, constructed with the finest North Fork composite blank by Gary Loomis. They carry a complete line of spinning and casting rods for both your freshwater and saltwater applications. Pride Rods pass not only the eye test, but performance as well. Ask your local tackle dealer if they carry Pride Rods and pick one up to try it for yourself. To learn more, go to priderods.com, or you can give them a call at 832-418-6040.
Guys, as a fisherman, Kevin and I both, you're always looking for information, up-to-date information. And where else better to go than a tackle store, especially one that's located on the body of water you're fishing? Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. Hey, Keith Neighbors and Ben Matsubu, former Elite Series Pro. Ben works there for Keith. These guys are not only great fishermen, but they fish a lot.
Ben's a great fisherman.
Yeah, Ben's a great fisherman. Sorry, Keith. But Ben's a great fisherman. He'll tell you, but Keith will also fill you in on kind of what's going on both bodies of water. They both fish Rayburn. They both fish Toledo Bend. But their pegs are full. They got great product, plenty of product on their shelf. And so check them out. Every top name brand that's known to man, they've got it at least Toledo Bend Tackle. They're located on Highway 21. When you cross Pendleton Bridge, coming from Louisiana, they're going to be on your left right before you get to Carice Creek. Or if you're coming from Texas, it'll be before you cross Toledo Bend on your right. So check it out right there off Highway 21.
Last but not least, the Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency that has been taking care of Texans' insurance needs for 25 plus years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, recreational vehicle, life, health, and commercial insurance. The owner, Clark Moore, is a local guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs as a boat owner and wants to be your go-to guy. Give him a call for a free quote at 936-205-4467, or you can stop in at 805 Southeast Stalling, Suite 3 in Nacogdoches, Texas.
Kevin, I see here the results for the Valero tournament. Do you have that?
I do.
Let's get that pulled out. While he's doing that, I'll give you upcoming events in August, ABA and Ironman. The ABA tournament is a rescheduled event from July. It was moved to August 21st. It'll be going out of Castle Boykin. It's a one-day event. It's part of the Open Series. It's the final tournament for the South Texas Open Series. So if you're looking for something to jump in and fish, and that's the last one for this season before the two-day championship, which will be at Lake Palestine, and that's a combination of the East Texas Open Series and the South Texas guys get together at Lake Palestine, and I believe that's September 11th and 12th, if I'm not mistaken. And but this is the last ABA event. And then you got the Ironman event, which I've already gone over. Make sure you check that out. What a great event! 2 tournaments basically in one, and you'll fish from 6 till 12 in the morning. You'll go back out at 4 to 9. 3 fish limit, both time frames, total weight, 6 fish for the day will determine the winner. Family fun, live music, middle of the day from 12 to 4. Food, games, prizes, the whole 9 yards. So check it out. Should be a great event on August the 7th.
I'm still getting them here. I'm trying to get all 30, see what got the last place checked. So 30th place, let me go back out here. I had them all down. They did pay 30 places as 260 boats. 30th place was Toby Moss and Antoine Green. They had a 9.87 pound stringer. Again, 3 fish. So first place, Scott and Cliff had the 20.88 with the 12.75 big fish. Second place was Steve Evans and Lewin Easley had a 3-fish stringer of 15.79. Third place, Dustin Walker and David Dykes had 14.64. Fourth place, Rick Harden and Jake Rosenbaum with 14.13. And fifth place, Scott Jordan, owner of Jordan Marine, and Larry Cotton with a stringer of 13.78.
And you think about that, Kevin. That's 3 fish stringers.
3 fish.
13 pounds to
over a 4-pound average.
Yeah, I mean, that's you would think coming in, hey, we got a chance to win this thing.
Yeah.
And then here comes a 20-pound bag with 3 fish.
Yeah, and so 9 pounds got a check. High 9, almost 10. So a 3-pound average is getting a check. So in a 5-fish stringer, you'd think 15 to 16 pounds, which is really good for this time of year.
Heck
No doubt about that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. Sam Rayburn, obviously Sam Rayburn is fishing well. I think one thing that's probably helped the lake a little bit, a lot of the pressure's come off the lake with all the high water they had for 2.5 months. A lot of guys weren't going over there. They stayed off the lake. There was a few things that still went on, but there was some dedicated, there's always going to be that group of guys that no matter what, they're going to be out there. But as far as total fishing pressure, the lake probably didn't get the pressure it would normally have gotten throughout the summer.
Well, and those fish got so far back up in that cover, people really had a hard time getting to them. Let's just be honest. Those fish was able to get away from the fishermen.
Yeah.
So, I think it's going to be a very good fall coming up on Toledo Bend also, and Sam Rayburn.
Yeah.
Grass, they're saying the grass is, we had White Franks on a couple weeks ago with us. The grass is starting to mat over on top in a lot of places on Sam Rayburn. And as you can hear, you had a 1275 caught out of the hydrilla. I think, and as that water just continues to fall, I know we're going to get a lot of rain this week, but the water's going to continue to fall. That's going to shove some northern fish out deeper, brush piles. I think this fall, between brush pile fish and the grass and the punching and the flipping and just working the edge of a grass line, I think people are going to be able to do whatever they want to do, throwing a frog.
Right.
So setting up for a very good fall on Sam Rayburn.
Yeah. And I guess, Kevin, let's drop to Toledo Bend for just a second. A lot of tournaments have shied away from Toledo Bend because the fishing got so tough for a while, but I think Toledo Bend's rebounded pretty well.
Steve, they had a little bitty, and I was talking to Justin Cooper this morning, came by the warehouse. They had a small 3-fish tournament on Toledo Bend, just a little fruit jar tournament going on. I think it took 18 pounds to win it.
Yeah.
Third place was 14 pounds.
And we're not talking a bunch of grass fish.
No.
Because there ain't no grass.
Well, there's not enough.
Not enough. There's
Right.
Exactly. And not like it's been over the years.
I think Toledo Bend, and this is just me giving my personal opinion, I think Toledo Bend is starting to get back. We're not going to be where we were in 2013, 2014. That's not happening again.
No.
But I really truly believe Toledo Bend will have a really good spring this upcoming year.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a good fall, and it's going to be a good spring. The water's been right. We do have some vegetation growing in the lake. Up north, they do have some hydrilla, some good hydrilla growing. Down south, I think we're starting to get some vegetation to grow a little bit. So and the fishing's been good. I mean, again, this past weekend, 14 pounds to get a third place, and took 18 pounds to win it in a small, probably 15 boats tournament.
And just give you an idea, it's been a long time on Toledo Bend near the end of July, middle of July, that the lake has only been a foot, 1.21 feet low. Normally we're 4 or 5 feet low by now. So the lake has been up and stayed up, and you attribute that to a lot of the rain we've had in northeast Texas and in North Louisiana here. But I think maybe that's why the fishing continues to be good.
Right.
So the water's been up on Toledo Bend, and maybe that'll bode well for us with maybe good vegetation next spring, next summer. Maybe the lake will regenerate again, and we are hearing of more people catching fish north this year than we have in the past.
Go north.
Yes.
Go north.
Yes.
Everybody go north. Leave me alone.
That's great advice from Kevin Jean. But anyway.
So Steve, real quick, Outlaw Outdoors announced last week the last team standing event that they have in December every year, where it's the 36 bracket style format tournament.
Yeah.
36 teams is allowed. And every year, those 36 teams have the first chance to say whether or not they're coming back or not. Nobody else can get in if all 36 of them teams come back, and usually they do.
Right.
So what Clint and Stacy have done over there at Outlaw Outdoors is they're going to have a tournament in November. The top 12 teams out of that tournament will qualify for the last team standing event, and they will take it from 36 teams to 48.
Oh.
So for anybody that's been wanting to get in the last team standing event, I've been wanting to get in the last couple of years. They haven't had a spot open.
So this isn't a series. This is just a one-event deal.
It's going to be a one-event deal. It's going to be a regular team tournament Outlaw Outdoors puts on. Payout and everything's going to be the same. But those top 12 teams will qualify for the last team standing event in December that they normally have. Now I'll get Clint on as it gets closer, maybe October or so, to kind of really dive into that. But they did announce that last week. More details is to come. He just kind of gave those announcements that 12 other teams will be able to qualify. So it will go to the last team standing event. We'll go from a 36-team bracket style format to a 48-team bracket style format. Again, that is my understanding.
Yeah. Now, Kevin, I want to ask you this. Is that where we're kind of headed now? Because this is kind of the new concept with this team fishing stuff. Limitation on a number of teams getting in. Is that good or bad? I mean, we got the TTO circuit. You only have 100 teams. That's all that's going to be in it. Now you got this circuit, going to only be 48 in it. Is that kind of the trend right now? What's going on with that?
It's easier to manage and know with the TTO, the size tournament it is. It's easier to manage and know for the guys on that end. All right, you're dealing with that much money.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have everything worked out and know how it's going to work out. Now, is it the way we're going? It's people coming up with different formats. Steve, we have so many tournaments out there right now. Yeah. We are just swarmed with tournaments, especially on Sam Rayburn. People are coming up with different ways to have tournaments and things to do to make them intriguing for more anglers to come and fish, which, it works. So, and that kind of takes us to the next thing we're going to talk about is the Brandon Belt Fishing Tournament, which I don't really know what's Bass Cat. Brandon Belt, who's the starting first baseman for the San Francisco Giants, has teamed up with the Ross Motorsports Speedway, the number one Bass Cat dealer in the nation right there in Lufkin. And they are going to put on a tournament February 3rd through the 5th on Sam Rayburn. First place is $100,000 cash.
That's a lot. That's
$100,000.
I would say it's life changing, but that's fishing changing.
That's changing something. That's changing something.
Changing a bank account for sure.
$100,000 first place and they are cutting it off at 400 boats.
Yeah.
October 1st is the registration day. So October 1st at 8 a.m. And we're going to, and I hope I'm not speaking wrong, I'm just going off the video they posted. We will have these guys on next week on the show to really dive into depth about this. So if you got any question about it, you can ask any of your questions here. We'll make sure we ask them while we've got them on the phone. But we're going to have them in to really dial this next week. But I want to kind of go ahead and talk about it a little bit so you understand it. October 1st is the registration date. At 8 a.m., you can start registration online.
Yeah.
400 teams. Steve, by 8:15, I bet you they're full.
Oh, that's
400 teams now. That's 800 people.
Yeah, and what's the entry?
$800.
$800. That's
$400 a person.
I'm telling you, you're right.
To win $100,000.
Yes.
Steve, we pay $300 to enter the 2-day BFL regional.
Yeah.
And have a chance at winning maybe $7,000.
Maybe
7. I mean,
and we're not knocking the BFLs. We're just using that as an example.
But wait, I'm not done. So first place is $100,000. Big Bass is a brand new boat.
Oh my gosh!
I mean,
so you're right. The phones will light up on registration day.
They will be full by 8:15.
Yes,
and that's just because they can't get that many phone calls in at one time.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And we'll talk more about this with them next week. Kind of the process of to go through, register. It will be a 3-day event: Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The full field fishes Thursday, Friday. It is a trailering event.
Yeah. Until
the final day on Saturday. I believe it's top 20 fishes on Saturday. Wow, what a tournament! What a tournament to bring here. I'm hoping to fish it, and I know we've talked, and you were hoping to get in as well, possibly. Yeah. I mean, a tournament like that you can't miss. Now, granted, that time of year, you're looking at 5 or 6 hard favorites. Derek Mundy, who has caught 30 and 40-pound stringers in that time of year.
Yep.
Danny House, who is a hammer over there that time of year. I mean, Corey Rambo. We can go on down the line.
Exactly.
Of probably 5 or 6 guys. So they also are going to have a Calcutta.
Oh, really?
The night before the event.
Oh, man.
So,
I mean, like a golf tournament.
This is going to be money just being thrown everywhere. So it's something to watch out for. You can go to Brandon Belt Fishing on Facebook. Like his page. They're releasing information about it every week. Again, we will have them guys on to talk about it next week.
If they're smart, they'll have TV coverage for something like this.
Somebody needs to cover it.
That's a great event.
Tackle Talk Live TV.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, that's gonna wrap us up, and we'll really we got one more thing. V&M tournament September 25th. Kevin will talk about more when we come back in September. And by the way, again, as Kevin has already said, we're taking off in August. We got some things behind the scenes we want to correct, make better, make improvements. We're always trying to make this show better, and so we're looking to make those changes in August, and we'll come back the first Monday or second Monday. Which Monday is it going to be? Second.
It'll be the first Monday.
Probably
in
the first Monday in September.
Yeah, first Monday in September.
Again, we appreciate you tuning us in. We can't say thank you enough. Next week will be our last show for now until September, and
Lone Star Bass Trail Ironman tournament coming October 7th. So make sure you guys. I'm sorry,
August 7th.
August 7th, the Ironman tournament on Sam Rayburn. Make sure you guys get registered for that event. Different type of event.
Totally different.
Totally different style event. Make sure you check that out. Lone Star Bass Trail Ironman tournament.
All right. We appreciate you tuning us in. Thank you, James, back here for doing all the behind the scenes stuff and helping us with our sponsor reads. We appreciate you. And again, thank you for tuning us in. If you're interested in sponsoring the show, please Facebook message us, and we'll make sure we get back to you. We'll send you a packet or whatever. Kevin will take care of all that. And but again, we just thank you for all of our sponsors up to this point that have been with us and stayed with us. We just can't say thank you enough. So if you want to continue to catch more fish and bigger fish and know where to go and how to fish, you gotta watch Tackle Talk Live. Have a good week.